like to welcome everyone this evening to the Common Council meeting on April 27, 2020 at 7 p.m. Could we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening to the meeting, and we'll start out with a roll call vote, please. Carol?
Steve Beardsley,
Present.
Mike Bright,
Present.
Brant Fuller,
Present.
Joe Palmer,
Present.
Megan Sheets,
Present.
Clarence Worthen,
Present.
Eric Woods.
Present.
Okay, next on the agenda is the minutes from the April 13th regular meeting. I would entertain a motion for this, please.
Yes, we have noticed one misspelling that is in queue for corrections. So pending that correction, I move that we approve the minutes as presented or with the correction.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion or any other questions? Roll call vote, please. Carol?
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Mike Bright,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Motion passed. Minutes from April 13th, 2020 regular meeting were approved as amended. Is there any public comments tonight?
No, we didn't receive any comments.
Okay. Do we have any old business that we'd like to bring up?
Yeah, I think we need to be an annexation, that we talked about last time, the annexation committee got together, that, we would like to wait for the COVID crisis, maybe subsided, some of the scheduled public meetings. At this point, that's happening very fast, so I think we need, with all due speed, to go ahead with anything that needs to be done to get the annexation moving forward.
Okay, it's cutting out quite a bit, so I'm not really sure. So you're just wanting to talk about annexation, is that correct? And where we are?
Yeah, I'm not really here.
Can you hear me?
I think now, yeah.
Okay, as far as annexation, I did talk to Les just a little bit ago, and he is working on the waivers of remonstrance so that he can get those all together to get those to Nick Kyle so we can move forward. I'm still working with Jerry Hickman on the financial plans from each department. We're still gonna have to go back and make some changes on those. It's still more than what we wanna see on that. I don't have anything else on annexation. Does anyone else?
I'm interested in getting some input with the department heads from council on putting together the sheets, if that's a possibility.
Okay, I can send you what they sent to me and to Jerry Hickman, but I can tell you that it's not gonna work. It's still too much expense. I was actually gonna try to meet with them next week and ask them to revise those and take another look at it. But if you'd like, I can get a hold of them sooner than that.
Again,
I'll make a comment, being on the annexation committee, having spoke with Steve about this issue, maybe clear up a little bit of communication. The annexation committee, wants to extend whatever resources we can to you, Madam Mayor, and your department heads, so that we can help, maybe give a little bit of direction based on the financial constraints that we have, whatever we can do to help along the process, for the mutual benefit of getting our our annexation efforts going out there before the time constraints cause a big issue, as we all know, with the state legislation. So I think we all stand ready, finance committee members, annexation committee members, whatever you believe is appropriate.
Okay,
And I'm sure I can speak for the other counselors for the various department committees. If any of that requires those committees to meet, please call upon us. We're happy to help on that.
okay. It's been really difficult to meet with everyone. I don't know whether we could call a meeting and maybe just have them come in one by one. At this
Whatever you
point,
think's best.
I'm thinking maybe that would be better. If I get a meeting together, is it okay just to contact you and see if we can come up with a good time? And
Absolutely. Any
Okay.
member of the committee, I think we can coordinate among ourselves.
okay, I'll go ahead and try to get a meeting together. Annexation probably is who I should start with. And
Yeah, I
then-
think
And
that's
then
it.
go from there with finance. Okay, okay. I'll try to get something together. Is that okay with you, Steve?
I think so. I'm hearing about every third word.
Sorry. I'm gonna try to get with the department heads and also the annexation committee and see if we can set up a time maybe to meet in the conference room, maybe one department head at a time, just to keep the number of people there lower. I was thinking maybe next week. Maybe we can get a hold of the annexation committee and see what works best for everyone. So,
I'm wide open.
okay. You're past your busy time.
This is Joe, and just have Tina call, somebody contact me.
Okay. I'll have Tina set something up then. Does anybody have anything else on that or any other old business? Okay, we'll move on to new business. And tonight we have CF1 approval. We actually have 15 different companies. And Carol, can you tell me how many total CF1s? Because some of them have more than one.
We have 22 total.
Do you want to read that list off of who we have had turned into you?
Sure. Do you want me to read the 15 or do you want me to read?
I think
And
the
then
15.
state the number of,
Yeah.
okay.
I can do that.
TCG Property Group, Ritchie and Son, Ellipsis Frankfurt Medical Office, Backstep Brewing Company, Pennington Holdings LLC, LOL LLC. There are 3 separate forms for that company. Coomer and Sons Sawmill, NHK Seating, which has 4 separate forms. Fontana Fasteners Incorporated, which has 2 forms. Centurion Solutions LLC. Chiricuri and Frankfurt Plastics Incorporated. NTK Precision Axle Corporation, which has 2. Riker Investments LLC. Archer Daniels Midland. And Ironman Properties of Frankfurt LLC.
Do you want to talk about that, Eric, or?
Yes, Mayor, we, as a finance committee, was mandated by the council to be the body that would speak with these companies when they request abatements. And in dealing with Jay Moore, who represents, I believe, the lion's share of these companies, we've always had, good relationship, and we've been able to meet with most of these companies various times to figure out the SB1s in the beginning. Jay provided us with the CF1s ahead of time to make sure that all the relevant information was there that we needed to make the decision to approve or not approve the CF1s moving forward. In that discussion, we were able to basically determine, given the current state of affairs with the COVID-19 situation, that does play in, and we'll have some factor on some of the development projects as they currently stand. So seeing no major compliance issues that couldn't be explained by having some extra time given this particular situation, the Finance Committee unanimously discussed doing basically a waiver on any of the small concerns we may have had regarding the project totals and the number of employees that were due to be hired by a certain time. Again, given this situation, we don't feel that there's any one of them that if given some extra time to come forth next year, wouldn't get this under control. And of course, if that continues to be an issue, we would address it at that point in time. So the recommendation from the Finance Committee, and Megan and Steve, please weigh in here, would be to the full council that we approve all 15 companies with their multiple CF1s on a couple of them in compliance for 2020.
Okay, thank you. Steve or Megan, did you have anything to add to that?
Anything I can add? Eric's comments already were. Thank you.
Okay,
I would just add to that this process, as many of us know, is fraught with problems stemming from, I think, poor statutory forms that need to be filled out to kind of a very subjective process. So what we would like to suggest, this is a fantastic time for us to review this entire process, make it better by adding additional narrative, possibly keeping better track of exactly where we are on a schedule that can be attached to all of these CF1s. And that might help make the decisions, a company that's near the end of an abatement with a much lower abatement percentage may not have the same level of priority as someone just getting started and we find a compliance issue. So that being said, we would bring that forward as a Finance Committee later this year so that we can work on that as a council and hopefully come up with a much better process that I believe attorneys like Jay would appreciate.
okay. I appreciate that and all the work that you put into this. Steve, did you have something?
This is Joe. I make a motion that we accept the CF1s as presented.
Palmer made a motion. Do I hear a second to accept all 15 with a total of 22 different CF1s?
I'll second, Mike Bright.
Is there any other discussion on this? Crystal, did you have anything?
No, I just came if anyone had questions. He told me I could leave if I wanted to, but
Okay,
I just stuck around.
okay, thank you. Roll call, please, Carol.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Mike Bright,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Another thing that I had come up was the golf course committee, and we need a member. For, I guess when this was set up, I did a little research, and there's supposed to be a council committee on that, or a council person on that committee, on the golf course committee. And I didn't know if anyone would be interested, if anybody'd like to volunteer. I'm not
Yeah,
really sure
I
how
would
much
like to
work
do
is
that.
put into that, but Todd Corey is currently on it, and there's gonna be 2 openings, so.
Brent said he would be interested.
Brant,
Yeah, and it's in my district, so I would like to do that.
that's perfect, Would anybody wanna make a motion to that effect, or you wanna do it by consensus?
I would add to that, Judy, if you're looking for 2, I would happily be an alternative,
Okay,
alternate.
okay. Okay, I think just by consensus then, Brant, you might wanna get with Todd sometime and talk with him exactly what all that committee does. Jesse Casey is the person that is managing the golf course right now. You may wanna talk with him as well.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
is there any reason that both he and Eric couldn't both be on it and express interest in it?
I couldn't-
Or is it limited to one?
Could you repeat the question?
Is there any reason that we can't have two on it in that Eric expressed interest in it, or are we limited to one?
No, I don't think there is any reason why we couldn't have both of them on there if you both want to be on it.
Yeah, I think it was just an ad hoc committee without an ending date. So I don't believe that was that an official resolution? When we formed?
The only thing I
don't
found
remember.
was in some minutes
Okay.
where we talked about it.
Well, when we did that, it made sense that we needed, I guess, maybe some third-party input. And as we continue on, I believe it does make sense to have maybe another official involved.
Okay. That's fine with me. We'll just go ahead and have you both. And then, like I said, Todd's the other one that's on it. So as we move forward with the golf course and any contracts, here on out, then you would be involved in that. Does anyone else have anything for this evening? I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Was that Joe with the motion and
Yes.
Clarence with the second?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Clarence seconded.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Still live? Well, I'll be glad when this is over.
We gotta fix that.